Welcome to Love Games Live. I'm Kayzia here in the studio with my co-hosts Lulu and Chi.
Yes, welcome to week 5. And as per usual, we're here to actually break down some of those interesting health themes that we saw from today's episode. Now, Kayzia, what actually stuck out to you with regards to this episode?
The fact that baby Cleo dies at the end of this episode, that was really heartbreaking for me.
Absolutely devastating for Mimi and her family. I feel very, very bad for Mimi. I mean, nobody ever wants to lose a child or a baby, but I can't help but think that she could have actually prevented this.
I know Mimi could have done a number of things to prevent her baby from dying. First of all, she could have taken her HIV treatment on a regular when she was pregnant to prevent the chances of her baby getting the virus. And then secondly, she should have gone to pick up baby Cleo's HIV test results after 6 weeks so that she could start her on treatment as soon as she realized she was HIV positive.
Yeah, I mean, very, very true. And of course, very important is how we actually make use of the health services. We have to access the health services. And it is a reminder to all of us that they're there to help us and they could save our lives and, of course, the lives of those we love as well.
Very true. While we're still talking about accessing health services, I'd like to talk about some of our characters who are accessing health services and benefiting from it. Wamba and Chilufya.
Oh yeah, let's actually take a look at some of the positive behaviors our characters are engaging in. Obviously, Wamba and Chilufya being the best example of that.
It's been fun actually watching them evolving and making all these big decisions together as a couple, like having a baby.
Oh yeah, certainly. I mean, with all the devastating things happening in Tamara and of course Mimi's lives, it's good to see some love and happiness and of course some responsibility happening in some of our characters' lives.
Yep. So in this episode, we see Wamba and Chilufya attend their follow-up appointment with Dr. Komba. Let's have a look.
So Chilufya and I have decided we want to have the baby the old-fashioned way. And Dr. Guni says she'll help me calculate my optimal days for conception.
Good. Just remember to keep a level head on your shoulders and follow our instructions strictly. Wamba, you still need to take your medication and ensure that you're both healthy and fit before you try out for the baby. So that means no alcohol, get some exercise, eat healthy and nutritional foods. Above all, make sure you take your medication exactly as it is given to you. Chilufya, have you considered getting circumcised? Because it will help reduce your risk of infection while you're trying to get Wamba pregnant.
Well, no problems, Doc. I'm already circumcised.
Good. Aren't you a star patient? But remember, it's not 100% protection against infection. When you're not trying out for the baby, you still need to use condoms.
So we can see that Wamba and Chilufya are being very careful to follow their doctor's instructions on how they can get successfully pregnant without risking Chilufya's HIV negative status.
Yeah, I mean, they're certainly being star patients. And one thing that has actually caught my attention, one topic from that scene that we picked up, is that Chilufya is actually circumcised. Male circumcision isn't something we have actually discussed on the show yet, but it's certainly a very, very important issue when it comes to HIV prevention.
Great point, Chi. We're definitely hearing more and more people talk about male circumcision, particularly since circumcision reduces a man's risk of infection to HIV.
Now, there's 2 very important things to take note of when it comes to circumcision. One is that circumcision is not castration.
Well, that's a very big difference there, and we wouldn't want people getting confused about the two.
So you see, male circumcision is simply the removal of the skin that covers the tip of the penis, known as the foreskin, and nothing else. That is all that is removed.
Thank you for that clarification.
And secondly is that male circumcision is only partial protection against HIV. It means that if a man is circumcised, he's less likely to get infected with HIV. But one must still use condoms if you are unsure of your partner's HIV status.
Okay, some really important information there. So how does circumcision protect a man from HIV infection?
All right, well, let me put it in simple terms. terms. You see, the underside of the foreskin is made up of very, very delicate skin. And sometimes during sex, this skin actually tears. And you can get tears so small that you might not even see them with the naked eye. Now, because of this tears, it is actually very easy for HIV to enter the body, and therefore somebody is at risk of getting infected with HIV. Now, when circumcision actually removes that delicate piece on the foreskin, the risk is actually lowered.
Wow, it's amazing the benefits of just removing a small piece of skin.
All right, now it's important to also note that even though circumcision has happened, HIV can still actually be transmitted through other parts of the penis. That is why, although circumcision is very, very good protection against HIV, it is not 100%.
That makes a lot of sense. And my understanding is that there are also other benefits to male circumcision.
Oh yeah, definitely they are. I mean, one, it is actually good hygienically speaking, and it also reduces the risk of other sexually transmitted diseases. And now the interesting thing is it also reduces the risk of passing on the virus from a man to a woman that actually causes cervical cancer in a woman.
It's interesting to know that it's also beneficial to women to have their men circumcised. So we know why men should get circumcised. So what do you have to do to get circumcised?
See, luckily, you can actually get all the benefits of male circumcision with one simple surgical procedure. And the goodness about it is, it's very quick. It'll only take about 30 minutes with very little pain.
I know I've asked a lot of questions, but last but not least, where do men get these services from?
Okay. Well, you can actually get circumcised at most government clinical facilities, and you can also look out for Mary Stopes clinics as well as Society for Family Health clinics as well. Now, male circumcision is encouraged for all males. I'm talking about babies, I'm talking about children, teenagers, and adults as well, because it is definitely beneficial for all males to get circumcised.
Well, everybody, I hope you have enjoyed talking about this new topic today. I certainly have learned a lot today, and will definitely be doing my part to encourage the males that I know to go and get circumcised. Now, over to you, Lulu.
Thanks, Kayzia and Chi. Oh my goodness, Chilufya is definitely the man to watch on Love Games. I mean, he just keeps getting better and better. Man, you definitely want to be like him. Women, it's okay. We should expect to have a partner like the lovely Chilufya. Anyways, as usual, we want to hear from you, so make sure that you like us on Facebook, Love Games Live, and follow us on Twitter at Love Games Live. We want to hear from you, and we want you to join the conversation. So last week's love test question was, now that Tamara knows that she's HIV positive, what should she do? And the answer was C, all of the above. Tamara should convince her husband to go for HIV testing and should also always use condoms with her sexual partners. All right, so this week's love test is, why does Dr. Komba congratulate Chilufya for being a star patient? A, he is on time for appointments. B, he is circumcised. C, he knows his blood type. Send your answers to 7233. All you have to do is simply text the word SAFE and leave a space, type your answer A, B, or C, and send that to 7233. Remember, the 20th correct answer gets a fabulous prize from Love Games. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much for watching tonight's episode of Love Games Live, and take some time to actually think about tonight's topic and see how it might apply to your personal life.
Yes, talk to all the men in your lives out there, people, about circumcision and how you can play a role in stopping the spread of HIV in Zambia. Remember, love safely, and see you next week.
Goodbye.
We're always here for you. Don't you doubt our care is true, it's true. Say so long to the pain you've been going through. We'll always stick with you. We will always hear your voice. So well done for making the intelligent choice.
Zamtel, live life today.